Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. I guess we're doing well together, having a wonderful day on this 5th July, 5th September. Holy shit, July. We're going way fast. Uploading some Nature Corn from July, that's why we said July. Today we're doing a review on the movie that I saw today, which is Terrifier, the first one. So Terrifier is a horror movie that inspires itself from the slasher. It is pretty dark. We saw it for free on Movie Central once again, which does host a bunch of movies that are lesser budget, which is the case of Terrifier. It's actually a really the movie in itself is it's actually really good because it's a mixed bag, but it's really good. It takes aspects from the slasher in the 80s, which to me were masterpieces. Each and every single one of them, from Michael Myers to Jason Voorhees to Chucky, of course, to Freddy Krueger, to Helpin. I'm forgetting someone, right? I'm forgetting someone. I wouldn't know who. So the movie does take from that. The movie in itself is very dark, which is kind of cool. We like that dark atmosphere. They're going for a dark. There's not a lot of lights, right? And it's supposed to be in the night. We're seeing Art. Art is this character, and it's kind of nice because the movie It in the 80s made people afraid of clowns. Everybody was afraid of clowns. Terrifier is Art is a mime. That's why he doesn't talk. We don't know if he doesn't talk because he doesn't want to talk or he could talk. We don't know what's wrong with him. The only instant that we get of a similar, or at least a little bit of his story, is when he gets a see the mom and she calms him down, I guess. That was the only thing that we saw from Art, from Terrifier. The good thing about the movie is, again, the gore. It's really well made. The characters, a bunch of characters protecting. It's kind of cool because we're having this main, like, almost victim, right? And then we end up being her sister, which is the main victim. And it's amazing because we have one survivor. The very first scene, they say there's a one survivor from that night, and we know that it's this. We saw her face. It's all fucked up. Because it's all fucked up, we're not sure who did what, right? But Terrifier, once again, super cool, is going after the same girl, and the people that are dying are trying to help her, which is a classic horror movie. Only one person needs to die, but everybody wants to get involved versus the killer. Terrifier, there's not a wound. So in most cases, there's not a wound that would push him to die. There's a bunch of time that he gets stabbed. There's a bunch of time that he gets hit. But we know he's crazy and he can endure pain, so that's okay. The only time that we know he's truly evil is at the very end when he wakes up, which is similar to Freddy. Once again, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, and Jason. I'm going to talk about these three because I know these three. Terrifier in itself, I would prefer the Terrifier that talks, because it's really, I mean, I know from different friends that in the second movie and the third movie really soon, that we know more about Art, but for now he's just very creepy. And it's kind of nice because he's really creepy, but it's weird. It's kind of nice because he's creepy, but there's moments where he could have killed and he didn't kill. For example, goes to the pizza shop, and gets almost bullied or made fun of. He doesn't kill. And he just waits, and you're not sure why he does that, right? Otherwise, the story is good. There's a bunch of things, like for example, the homeless lady. You're not sure what she had to the story, and she's super weird, and she doesn't add much until we meet her and Terrifier meet, and then she has like a mother to him, and you can see Terrifier sucking his thumb, acting like a baby. We don't know if she's still alive. We don't know if the old woman, she's still alive. He might have killed her. He might have spared her. We don't know. That's pretty much it. The movie is good. Again, very low budget, but it works. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. It lasted an hour 15, which it's felt, because there's a lot of information I would have loved, and I think minutes could have used to at least give us a hint. I would have taken a fucking newspaper clip of a kid going through some horrible shit, right? And however, with the ending of the first one, again, he himself, and he gets in a body bag, and then the coroner says, "Hey, he's dead," and then we see him come back to life and attack the coroner. So there's an intent, or at least a understanding. Understanding is better. There's an understanding that he's gonna come back for a second movie. But I fucking love this, but it's also an issue. Like if you have a movie like for example with Marvel, they can absolutely don't give a shit if a movie doesn't work. They have money and money and money. However, for a movie like Terrifier, which is low budget, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. My other complaint is Terrifier relies a lot on jump scares. So if you're not afraid of jump scares, that's the same for Chucky. The first time I talked about Chucky and how it was the first horror movie that I saw, they rely a lot on jump scare. If you're not a nervous person, or you're not stressed, it doesn't really affect you. The thing that sucked is the scariest thing we saw was the girl without a face. It wasn't scary, it was just well made. It was just gory, and that was before the title screen. So it's kind of cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. What I also would have liked to see is we basically know. Okay, so for the first half of the movie, you think it's Tara, which is the younger sister, right? Then at the second half, before the second half, Tara dies. So we now know that the victim is Victoria, right? Victoria being the older sister. We saw her in the movie in the first opening scene, and she kills the announcer because she does an interview, right? And then you're like, okay, well, why is she doing that? And there's a moment in the movie where you see her twitching, and you see her, she's going crazy because of what the Terrifier did to her. I would like to see more of that. I saw yesterday, and so in Gretel 1 and 2, and then so in Gretel, the greatest thing was Gretel at the end was so fucked up by the adventure that she had, that she became like a bad person. So I would like to see that. However, it isn't to be predicted, and that's pretty much it. Anywho, love you guys. Take it easy.